Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I got a wonderful message coming to you, and it's coming live from station WEBM, and that's wonderful Eddie B. Marcus, operating smack from the top of the sky right to wherever you are. And I'm hoping that this message will be insaturated throughout your being and be as important to you as the blood that flows through your vein. And when that is done, I request that you like, comment, or subscribe. The message that I have for you this day, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first Sunday after July 4th, 2018. I want you to remember that date. That date is significant for some strange reason that I know not of at this present time. But believe me, it will be remembered. So I want to ask you to remember. Now, as many of you know, that I've asked the citizens of the state of Minnesota to make me the next senator. And if you just hang on, I'll tell you why I'm doing that. You see, what is actually going on with me, if you have not been able to ascertain this information from the videos that I've posted, I am concerned about something that's more beautiful than Republicans and the philosophies of the Democrats. I am basing my whole campaign on bringing little heaven to the United States of America, beginning here in the state of Minnesota. And to start this before you, I want to say to you, I am going, first of all, to ask you to do the same thing right now that you will expect and hope and pray that God will do for you if you ever get up to those pearly gates. And what is that? That is forgive. You want God to forgive you whether you thought you were right or whether you thought you were wrong, was wrong and didn't know it. You want God to forgive you, no doubt. So I'm asking all of you, all of the Americans, all of the citizens of the state of Minnesota, to let us forgive everybody. Let us forgive everyone. Let us really consider freeing people. People who've committed crimes against the Constitution. People who have committed crimes against the people of a state or the United States. Let us forgive everyone. Even forgive the murderers. But we just can't release them just yet. See, they have a reputation of taking people's lives. And you just can't throw people out there knowing they're going to be taking folks' lives. But you can try to rehabilitate them. And once that is accomplished, then by all means, release them back into the society. And see, ladies and gentlemen, what we are doing today is that we are living in a society that's built on hate. It's built on killers. It's built on whatever you can think of, lying and cheating and stealing. It is just pathetic. This nation, my friends, as you well know, is built on the foundation of coming from someplace else to these shores and conning, for a word that everybody will understand, the natives. Con them until they basically had control, and when they resisted, they put bullets up against their bow and arrows, killing them and taking their land. And the killing part about it, ladies and gentlemen, is that, well, I'll tell you that later too. It'll be more significant. Taking the natives' land and claiming it as their own. And trying to set up a bunch of rules and regulations that allow them legally to actually get away with everything that they say they were doing, and had the backing of the mother country and other countries who had the interest and the wherewithal to support it. And other people came here as they were needed to do work for nothing. Some came as slaves, some came as indigenous people, some came as folks who just came to try to make a little bit more money than they were making at home. And every last one of them being abused. Every last one of them being abused. But by a system that was legally established by the power that be. The people are led to believe that it is for them, but it is definitely for the powers that be. And what the powers that be does, it finds some way to divide the people, starting with its own people, the white people. It makes them think that this is their land, and everybody else is invading their land. And if these other people weren't here, they can have the opportunity to live their superiority dream. But because of all these other people, all these people crossing the border, they are being threatened. And so out of that comes hate and bigotry and animosity. All of these things exist because it serves the purpose of the powers that be. Not the people, because the people don't know any better. The powers that be really don't know any better. They just know what they're trying to accomplish. And they are doing that quite well. So you ask yourselves, how do we get from there to this? Well, every power that is coming up against the supreme power got a problem. They got a very big problem. And as long as this problem exists, you have disorder. There is no power above the powers that be. And here we have the Republicans and we have the Democrats. And you have the ignorance of the people. And you got the victims who suffer of the people. And they go up and down, causing the rise of more hatred, causing the rise of more bigotry. And they cry for authoritarianism. Overcome by the fear of others and what this lie that we have had perpetrated on us is going to say these people are going to do to us. We need somebody to protect us. This is what the power that be, the race that is standing on top of everybody, is saying. We need someone to protect us. And so while the Republicans and the Democratic power is failing them, there was another power sitting on the sideline who knew exactly how they felt, because this power sitting on the sideline felt the same way. And so he cohorted with others who are dictators and got the strategy. They're teaching him as he goes along this way. He's learning how to be more and more of a dictator, and it's becoming apparent in our society that it's working every day. And so you have the people who don't realize that even when they were fighting the natives and taking the land, there were white people who were selling guns to the Indians. Not because they wanted the Indians to defeat themselves, not necessarily that they wanted the other white people to be attacked and killed. It's just that they wanted the money. And to get these guns, you had to give up the money. Once they got the money, they didn't give a heck. The only time they really cared is when they needed a reason to make more money. So they caused more agitation. They caused people ready to use the guns. And then as they do that, they sell the guns to both people. And they make all their money. This is the powers that be, ladies and gentlemen. And they're only able to do it because you, the people, have been led down a path of blindness. A path that you know nothing of and you don't know any better. Well, my point in saying that, ladies and gentlemen, is that just like they were selling guns to the Indians, just like what they're doing right now, and you are supporting them to attack all these other people, don't think once they got that under control, they're not going to attack you. They don't care any more about you than those gun runners cared about selling arms to the Indians. They don't care any more about you than the powers that be who are selling guns and nukes and bombers all to the same people, giving them money to have these things. They don't give a high ooda wooda booty about you. And everybody who is playing this game, regardless of what they're saying, don't give a hoop a boop about you. Now, when you're talking about Republicans like less government and say Democrats they want to have a little bit more government. Well, just off the cuff of that, it basically indicates that Democrats got a little bit more heart than the Republicans. The Republicans are basically what they are doing, supporting the establishment all the way, supporting the system, the Constitution that was set up as a racist and a bigot document in the beginning. They are holding that above all the people and saying this is the law. I come to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that's the law of people who've been led by blindness. Once you wake up by the Spirit, you don't follow those laws unless those laws fall within the principles of what is truly good or what is truly loving and that which is not. Because you got people all over the place swear to whatever that they are good people. Good people. You ask the Republicans, they are good people and they are for small government where they can do what they want to do. That democratic system, it gets people strung out, say, oh, let's go this way today, and tomorrow they might switch back depending upon what conversation is being carried, and that conversation is determined by the people with the money and what they want done. And so you got the people just falling, bum-ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom, bum-ba-doom, and they call themselves loving. They'll tell you about how much time they've been in church. But to a certain degree they for something, and to a certain degree they're not. But when I campaign, I'm telling you, there are two kinds of government. You got the dictatorial type of government where you got that authoritarian running things, and the people submit to it because they feel that they're being blessed based upon a lie, and they feel protected because they will be protected as best they possibly can because nobody wants an invasion on their own game. So they'll defend that just to keep you where they got you or to take you a little bit more deeper into bondage. And so it doesn't matter whether it's Republican or Democrat, you're going to get the same thing. But now this dictator, you come in and say, we want protection from all these other races of people. They're invading us, they're the cause of our problem. And so you are willing to forget about justice. You're willing to forget about love, which you have very seldom thought about beyond your specifics. And so you're willing to let a dictator come in just to protect you from all of these other people. And that's why Donald Trump is so successful here in America. People say, well, there was Miss Clinton or Donald Trump, less of the two evils. Everybody knowing that it was evil. Didn't matter which one. They knew it was evil. And those who say they love God went to the polls and voted for evil. Listen, God is not for evil. God is not like that. And then those who really call themselves preachers, preaching, were telling people to go and vote for the lesser of two evils. We got to protect our interests. And what are our interests? Our interests, as we support these two groups, is that the suffering, the crime, and the violence, the terrorism, and the war, which is a result, a direct result of our system of government and the way we apply ourselves. We are saying that's okay. We are saying that's okay. And then somebody stands up and tell you about God. But don't get mad at them. They cannot tell you about God. They do not know about God. And those of you, God gives me the courage, and not just the courage, but the wisdom to stand before you and say these things to you. I was given by the Spirit that Christianity and all these other religions and all of the existence here on the earth basically are just headed straight down the path to hell. But it specifically said churches in America going straight down to hell. Why? Because that's where the path leads. That's the broad way. That's the wide gate. People don't know any better. It is only the people that know better that comes the straight and narrow way. And how do they know better? Because they receive the Spirit. They begin genuineness in their own heart. And those, what it says the, what? Only the pure in heart shall know God, shall receive God. What does that mean? That means the Spirit. God is a spirit. And what God is now in you. And what is in you, if it's real, and it got to be if God is there, because he ain't coming unless you're real, you're going to be representing God. And when you are not representing God, that means I don't care how good you think you are. I don't care how much you better you think the Democratic Party is other than the Republican Party. You ain't accomplishing a thing. You are just hindering progress. You are just slowing progress down. You are in the way. Do it right or don't do it at all. Feel the big blunt of it, the pain, if you don't want to feel the joy of the game. So I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, while we are sitting here talking about this and how we're going to deal with that, I want you to know you will know better than the preachers. The preachers don't know God. They can't tell you about God. And so you put up what you put up with. It has been said that Jesus was a black man. Now, in most of the places in the houses in the United States, you got a white man. But it is argued that it's a black man. Now, it really doesn't make any difference about whether he was white or black. It was the conduct of the man that is important, that is significant. And we all know that Jesus was a lover. He says, I'm a lover, not a fighter. And he taught by his own actions what it meant. And we saw what it did to him. What it caused. It caused his crucifixion by those who were playing like they knew God and by those who didn't want to have anything to do with any of that. And so today we have the same thing going on. The same identical thing is going on. Anybody who says that Jesus is a black man can't just say it because of his color. He has to say it because of what the man is doing. Now, I've been out here in this business for 40 years at least. And based upon my own observation, led and guided by the Spirit, there is none other out there in the United States of America that is speaking forward for heaven as I am. There is no one out there who possibly could have sacrificed any more than I have sacrificed. Now, what am I saying? Am I saying that I'm better than anybody else? No. I'm saying that I am paying the price. The price of knowing the truth and being set here in the middle of something that's so far from the truth is burning like hell. And I see all of you in hell, and most of you don't even know it, and let alone know the way out. But I'm running for office to show you the way out. And to show you the way out is a different type of government. It's a government not of a dictator, not of me, but a government of you. A government of people who have said we are going to do that which serves me. And me stretches to every last one of us. So that means everything that is in each of us, our desires, our wants, our needs, if they're not common, they're just as important as anyone else. And so the system in which we will operate under, the system of heaven, means that we are using the gifts that we have been given to extract from the resources that are made available by the Spirit that we can't see, touch, and feel, to carry ourselves anywhere we want to go. Now, before I wrap up, let me just say a couple of things specifically. When I go around driving sometimes, I see all these car lots, and they are filled with some of the most beautiful cars. And I'm thinking about the brothers and sisters of every race who I see walking around, riding a bicycle, wish they had a car, don't have a car. I think every last one of them should have a car. And I think that those of you who got traps, raggedy traps, I think you should be able to exchange them and ride around in the most beautiful cars that are out there that fits your taste. And I realize that all of a sudden the traffic will be so tight that people will want to park those cars and leave them in the driveway to look at. And they will be wanting and desiring new means of transportation. And that will be an innovation for those engineers to come out bold and come up with new expressions of how these things can be made manifest and give those who love those careers something to do that's great beyond what they've been constantly doing. And we can see heaven unfold right before our eyes in a greater expression of that. So this is basically what my campaign is about, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of a one-man government dictator running your lives, you the people become the government. And it is as big as every last one of you. And no government is going to fight itself. So there will be none amongst you that's going to fight those things that are so common amongst every last one of you. And those other little things, those extras, you can't have them without everybody else. So you just appreciate everybody else because now one is all and all is one. Now see, ladies and gentlemen, that's what my campaign is about. And I don't mind telling you that. So what am I basically saying? Since this is my church service today, I'm basically saying that as your senator, as a write-in, going to champion everything I've shared with you. Want to go to Washington, champion to the Congress, and be a bully pulpit to the nation about the things that I've shared with you. I know that people will know that I'm telling the truth, and the problem is, will they accept it? Here is the truth. I was told to say, you're going to hell. You're on your path to hell. Now, what I'm telling you, I know you haven't been hearing, because I didn't hear it. I heard this from nobody. No one. Even Dr. King. I didn't hear from him. So I do hear it. And I'm telling you what I hear. And I know mostly, many of you haven't heard this. And it might have the same impact on you that it has on me. Why? Because I want to know the truth. I want to be the truth. I want to stand before you and say to you those things that I want somebody to say to me if I'm messed up in the head. And then I want people to support the ideals that gives everybody their dreams and give them peace and prosperity. I want that. And if I'm made president or when I'm written in as president of the United States of America, my emphasis would already been proven through us here in Minnesota. Through us, we will be in the United States. And then are we able, the spirit of the United States of America, to reach across the borders over in China, over in Russia, over in India, over in Africa, all over the globe. The spirit of the United States of America now shines across the world. Why? Because we decided to take over government. We decided to be government. We decided to protect ourselves, knowing that the only way to do that is everybody got to be protected. Otherwise, it is an illegitimate government. And it's guaranteed, not by one, but by everyone. I think that's a fine message for me to be giving to you today, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you to know that most of the times when I'm ministering now, I used to be in the church on the pulpit until they said that I don't speak what they speak. See, I speak what I just got through speaking to you about. They speak about Bible stories that is done nothing but leading the people on peaceful loins, riding the boat to hell. And so I don't do that now. I use Facebook and YouTube and whatever else I can tube it through. I do it in signs and street preaching, and I do it in running for public office. I keep on doing this because I am the expression of God's love. Let me tell you this. I have never ever met another person out here who's trying to do this. Oh yes, I hear of people who are supporting food shelves, people who take sandwiches out to the community. I've heard of people who pick old folks up and take them around when they need a little ride here, need a little ride there. I have heard of these kinds of things, of people who want to focus on the children. Yes, I hear these things all the time. And these things continue to exist because they do nothing for fixing the problem. And because they do nothing, the system that be will allow you to continue to do that. In fact, they will give you a 501c3 and help finance you in doing the things that you're doing. Because what are you really doing? You're actually standing in the way as a stumbling block, keeping people from knowing the truth. The truth is that they don't have to live this way. The truth is that the Almighty Creator made it so that their dreams could be met. And being on this earth was being like in heaven, paradise all the way. And we have been tricked to think that some systems that are designed to make us walk a different walk that allows us to go through all the hell we have to go through is legitimate. I come to tell you it's not legitimate. And let me tell you something. I'm telling you good stuff. I know I am. And if enough of you start saying, whoa, he's telling us good stuff, and you start responding to it, the first thing that the powers that be will think about how to bring me down. They'll try to humiliate me, bring up all the devilish things I've ever done, and I don't think there's been any bigger devil in the world than me. I just haven't killed anybody. I thought about it a couple of times, but the powers that be kept me from doing that. And saved my life on several occasions. So I'm okay with that. But when you bring it up, I want all of you to know it. I'm not trying to say I was perfect. I was as big a devil as I could be at that level. You know, I'm not a big shot, so I couldn't be a big shot devil. But wherever I was, I can't complain about any other devils. But I can identify them, and I can tell right now how they can be forgiven and what the result of that forgiveness will be. Because not only do they play a part in it, you play a part in it. And now you are not blind. Now you can see. And so nobody is going to play a game on you. Now, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, how many people are here to hear me today? Just you. And when I put my camera up in my surroundings, there was no one there to be with me. No one but the Spirit, and that's all I need as far as the message goes. But the company, the approval, say I'm there with you. I understand with you. It's not here. Duchess! The only one here is Duchess. Come here, Dutch. Come here. Come here. Oh, money. Now, here's Duchess. Now, Duchess is here with me every Sunday while everybody else put their clothes on and get pretty and smelling good and with their Bibles and their Sunday school books. And they go to another organized church that focuses on tradition, that keeps them bound, but they don't know any better. And so my folks go. I don't try to stop them. I don't try to stop them at all, because what they are basically saying, let us see the fruit of what you're doing. They don't realize that they are doing exactly what others are doing. You would think that the fruit began at home, because people will ask, well, what do they think about it? And if you say, well, they don't think anything positive about it, how in the world can you expect somebody to just drop into it? However, they will if they are the pure in heart. Well, thanks so very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's about it for today. Bye-bye.